Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. On this episode, I honestly have no idea where we're heading. The only thing I know for sure is we got our new knuckle in for our steering shaft, so we're gonna go ahead, take the old one. On the old one right here, you can see right here, what we do is we swedge this in so it locks it in place, and that way the steering shaft isn't able to pull apart. So we're gonna grind that down, pull off our old knuckle, bore it out to 3/4 of an inch, which is the same as this, put our shaft in, a new shaft in on both ends, tack it in, and then we'll go ahead and do a final install on it. So stay tuned, and whatever else we get done in the process, it'll come after that. Alright, so like I said, we're gonna grind down the stamped edge right here, and then we're gonna use our .co with a rotary file, just grind it off right there. And then after it's all ground off, we'll punch out the shaft, drill it, and then put in our new shaft. There we go. So the next thing we got to do is we got to take and get rid of all these splines and bore it out to 3/4 of an inch. All right, there it is. In our 3/4 inch hole. Perfectly fits our new steering shaft. All right, so our next step here, you guys can see I got this one slipped over on the yoke down here. Okay, so next step, we're gonna slip this guy over our splines right here. And now we can measure how long our steering shaft needs to be from point to point. It looks like 9 5/8. Right on, this looks like it's gonna be good. We got it in place right now. We're gonna just tack it in, and then we'll do a seam bead all the way around both sides. So let's go ahead and just tack it for now. Alright, so I went ahead, gave the paint plenty of time to cure up. Looks good, so we'll go ahead and toss this on. Alright, so I got the shaft on here. This is exactly where it needs to be, so we're going to reinstall our bolts to tighten it down and lock it in place. Get what is going on. Oop. Just gotta give it a little lab tap. Little tap a tap tap. There we go. And yes, that is totally a hammer. And if you guys don't know what a hammer looks like, oh, that's good, because that's a hammer. Anything's a hammer when you use it as a hammer. And that should not be going anywhere. All right, perfect. So the steering shaft is all done. So next, what I'm gonna do is up on the corners.
The next day.
Well now, so I just looked up the forecast. It's gonna be raining all day, so we're not gonna be outside grinding while it's raining down on us. We'll hold off on doing those supports. I do have a metal for it, and we'll go ahead and jump onto our brakes, mainly due to the fact that I need to procure some long lead items, hoses, adapter fittings for AN and the like. So we'll pull our brake master from a 944 off, and we'll start tackling how we're going to address the Hydro Boost. So this is what we got in our Hydro Boost kit. This is a unit, Hydro Boost unit off of a Ford Mustang. Oops. So we'll get this cleaned up. It came in the Mustang. It has a plate that has a little bit of a tilt to it. And we are gonna have to take and trim this down on one of the corners, but we'll have to see how it fits up and then go from there. So this is what I'm talking about for a clearance on the corner. So right here. So we'll have to check, see what works and what doesn't work, and go from there. Probably have to reroute this line somewhere else, coming in maybe right here. So we'll see. So I went ahead, trimmed down the new one with a tilt on it, and I pushed out all these studs. So now we can take and see what it looks like on here. It looks like we got to trim down this corner right here. But otherwise, it looks like it might work. So let's go ahead and get our whole unit on here and see what that fits up like. Here we go. And in it goes. Let's take a look here. We have clearance. I think this might just work. All right. So I'm gonna notch this corner down, round these corners off, give it one more fit, and I think we're gonna be good. All right, so trimmed it down a little more. Let's give her a fit. And that looks like it's gonna be just dandy. All right, so I'm gonna mark the edge right here. And then we'll drill our holes, temporarily bolt it up, and see where we go from there. Paint, and there you are. All right, cool. So as you can see, it will all fit. This, the top of this, I think is gonna be just possibly a hair too tall. So we'll see if we have to do something about that. But otherwise, looks great, clears, there's no interference anywhere. So we'll go ahead, I'm gonna take the bracket back off, I'm gonna paint it, and then reinstall it for the final time. Well, this turned out really well painted. Nice finish on it. Same color as the steering shaft. I went ahead and just sprayed all these holes down so that we don't have any corrosion. Got it all sprayed clean. So now we'll go ahead and just install a Hydro Boost unit, and then we can start worrying about how we're gonna tie it into the brake pedal over here. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode. So we got the Hydro Boost all installed, the master cylinder's on there. I need to get new seals for reservoir. Between now and the next episode, I'm gonna go ahead and buy all the fittings to AN. So all these from the standard Hydro Boost lines from a Ford, we're gonna go to 6AN for it all. And then for our routing, we're gonna have to get a hose that goes from the power steering pump up to the Hydro Boost, from the Hydro Boost down to the power steering, and then back up to the reservoir. Then we need a T that goes from the overflow right here into the reservoir as well. So next episode, more than likely, as long as we have good weather, I will tackle those cross braces on there. That way we can start installing the power steering reservoir and everything else. That's gonna start wrapping it up for what I wanted to do with the motor and the suspension and everything, and then we'll start building out our dash bar. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, consider subscribing. I mean, you obviously liked enough to watch the whole thing. So subscribe down below, and then I'll see you all on the next episode. Thank you for watching.